Ladies and gentlemen, you don't even know what's going to happen right now. All the way from Florida to going back to Cali. Anyway, this guy over here, I know him for a long time. I knew him since he had hair. And he went from competitor to not just an actor, but I believe he probably listened to something like Mario, so that Melvin Back Peoples told his son, if you want to be in a movie, you can make it and put yourself in the movie. That's what he told Mario. Anyhow, this gentleman here has been working quite a bit, and we're just going to call him the boss, because that's what he has to be when he does the movies. Robert Parham. In the house, y'all. He in the house, y'all. How you doing, brother?
What's up? What's up, brother? What's up? My man, fast feet.
Yeah, flat, 5 feet. 5 feet in some countries. Flat feet has always been a deal, and fat feet a few years ago when I had the double check. Hey, bro, so we go back a long time, and you did have hair, by the way. You know?
Yeah, I did. I did.
You outgrew your hair. You just got taller, living large. That's what happened. Moving on up. Anyway, so listen, man, I'm going to ask, let's start off with the martial arts. What was your inspiration, desperation, and even motivation to start the martial arts, man? Talk to me.
Of course it was, the Kung Fu movie craze of the 70s, but just as important was I got beat up by a girl in the 5th grade.
I hate when that happens.
Oh, man.
Was she cute at least? Was she cute?
Yeah.
That's the worst part. Damn. That happened to me in the karate tournament. She faked low, and I got hit high. Damn. She was just so cute. Anyway, so you got beat. What grade was that?
It was 5th grade.
Bro,
grade.
Bro, that's a little late to be getting beat up. Holy. It wasn't Ali. Was it Ali Lemus now? All right, so after that, what happened, man?
My dad kept me in. My dad was a practitioner of the martial arts. He practiced Tai Chi, practiced with his instructor was Sidney Austin. He practiced with Prentice Newton and a lot of other of the notables in New Jersey. And he kept me in all summer, taught me judo and Tai Chi and things of that nature.
So what city of Jersey? I'm from Jersey. Are you from Jersey? I lived there for quite a while.
Hillside. You know where Hillside is.
Of course, right next to Newark, right? Not too far from
Elizabeth. There you go.
Right on the other side right there. Near the hill.
There you go. Or by the side.
There it is. The side of the hill. So, wow. So how far back was that? Your 5th grade?
5th grade.
And so that was, I'm not even going to guess, but I don't even know.
You're trying to do math, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's just say it's over 40 years.
Long time.
45 years.
Love you long time.
Yeah.
All right, so and then, did you get revenge on this girl? Did you meet outside, pull her hair? Have one of those fights, Oh, man.
No.
Was she bigger than you, man? Was she bigger than you?
She was mean as hell back then.
You know what happened? The reason I'm saying is that because for some reason in 5th grade, sometimes those girls were bigger, man. I don't know what the hell. So 6th grade.
Yeah.
6th grade, you get taller. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, what's up now?
I didn't get taller till I was like in the 9th grade.
Oh, man.
When I hit high school, that's when I grew.
But she didn't tell other people that you were easy? We're gonna turn that page. We're gonna turn that page. Well, let me tell you this: the fact of the matter is that she might have came from a single household. Stuff like that happens. They get pissed off, have to take it out on you. Plus, she might have liked you. That's the even worse part. She might have liked.
I think it was a kind of combination of the both. I think. I mean, we're good friends now. I talk to her all the time. So everybody out there, if you're on Facebook, look up Mylene Dejoie, Dejoie. Like, didn't you beat up Robert Parham when you guys were in the 5th grade?
Wait a minute.
Flood her Facebook.
Hold on a second. Is she Haitian?
Yes.
That's the reason, damn it. Because Española was divided into 2 countries, Dominican Republic and Haiti. And when they come over here, man, they come here ready swinging, man. We talking about there's different levels of ghetto. People don't get that, man.
I know, man. I had my favorite Flintstones lunchbox. You remember those? The Flintstones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all dented with my head in it, and she was like, "Bang, bang!" Yeah.
Well, I never had it. I was on welfare. She was probably pissed off that you wasn't on welfare. I mean, you had a father living with you. What the heck is that about? In the ghetto, you didn't do it right. What's wrong with you?
It was all good.
That's a good possibility of that. All right, so now eventually you probably started getting a little better. When did that happen?
I started boxing first. So before I took martial arts like really, really serious. Well, wait a minute. I got into a fight and I did a move that my dad had showed me. I swept this dude off his feet. I was like, whoa, this stuff really works. It really, really works. Yeah. And then I started boxing. You know, because my big influences. Then of course Muhammad Ali was the man, Matthew Saad Muhammad, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Sugar Ray Leonard, all those guys. So I started boxing to get better with my hands.
And this is still in Jersey.
Still in Jersey. Up at the PAL.
And the same
Hillside.
Wow.
Yeah, they had the PAL, the Police Athletic League, the PAL, right up there. And we would go to, after I got off of work at McDonald's doing my shift.
Check you. I had a freaking job too, bro. You don't know how to be ghetto, man. What's wrong with you? You're supposed to have your boy in McDonald's and you get on that line, that long line, because all your friends are on that one line and he hooks you up. Well, unless you was hooking people up, I don't know.
I was hooking myself up, dog.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, that's freaking, forget about it. Back in the days, McDonald's, you would be popular. That's probably how you got better with that girl, right?
Yeah.
It's called Hamburger Helper. No.
It's a free large fry.
Get up. Anyway, so now you started boxing. How far did you take the boxing? Any junior golden gloves or anything like that? Or
I went to the Golden Gloves.
Well, Golden Glove, not junior Golden Glove. You went to
the Golden Glove.
You went
to the Golden Glove. New Jersey State Golden Gloves.
Whoa.
And got to the quarterfinals.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
Guys, please understand this. When you're talking about any form of competition with boxing, to get to the quarterfinals, you have to be no joke. There's a lot of ringers. There's people that literally have been doing it since they were born. And all they're looking for is pretty much just meat.
Yeah, somebody to beat up on.
Isn't that something?
Yep. And I ran into that guy in the quarterfinals.
Oh, man. Hey, it could have been worse. Could have been the girl again.
or I could have beat him and fought the guy that he fought.
Oh, my God. Wow. Okay, so now after the boxing, you got to the quarterfinals. You probably got some headaches, because boxing guys, you got some headaches in freaking boxing,
Well, I'm not going to sit here and toot my horn, okay? But I was pretty good.
I'll toot it.
I didn't get hit much. I really didn't get hit much because I was trying to be like Muhammad Ali. I'd move and
but I saw a video. It looked more like Jerry Lewis. And the art of fighting without knowing how to fight.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and then after that, what happened?
And so after I lost, I eventually went to the Air Force. This is where everything comes together. Yes. Went to the Air Force and met my primary instructor. His name was Dr. Alonzo Jones. And he brought me into the system that he was taught by his grandfather, taught by his father, et cetera, and so forth. And that's what I ranked in. And, I did the competitions, I did the boxing. I even went professional boxing. I did the kickboxing and did professional kickboxing. Even had one MMA fight.
What?
One. Yeah. That was, when was that? 2013, 2014.
Oh,
wasn't that long ago.
Wow.
Yeah, one fight.
All right, so
I had to.
Wait, you like past that. Excuse me, take two. Quiet in a sec. We got action. Go on. You really just went past that real quick. Like, what the hell was the name of the style?
Oh, okay. So That's a good question, right? I should
Possibly.
answer that. So I
Possibly.
studied. I ranked in a system called Kempo Kambatai. So it's originally a style from Kush called Gazert Amalik.
I went to school that day,
And
bro, in the Bronx.
did you? But the system was passed down from father to son, father to, and when it got to, I'm gonna give you a little history. The Zemina Masfiant was when the princes and the kings and everybody ran from Kush, and they settled in Jones County, Mississippi.
Wow.
So the movie The State of Jones is based on those people, really. So that's the art that I ranked in
And this is while being in the military.
while being in the
Where
military.
were you stationed at when while you
I
were
was
training?
stationed in Mississippi at Keesler Air Force Base. I was stationed there. I was stationed there for 20 years, dude.
What?
One spot,
Wow.
20 years.
Well,
20 years.
thank
And
you
it was
thank you for
you're
your
welcome.
service.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
20
And
years.
the reason I don't want to say stuck, but the reason I stayed there, because I was on the boxing team, and one of the boxing coaches was the vice commander of the base. So he made sure that I didn't go anywhere.
Wow. But did you want to?
At one time I did, but then I didn't.
And then
I
you
was
will,
like,
and yeah,
no.
I'm glad you didn't, because anyhow, that's another something about it. No, I honestly, my father's martial arts lessons for me were paid by my father's VA check, and
Uh-huh.
and what happened. A lot of people don't realize when you talk about the FDA, Food and Drugs Administration, it was created for chemical warfare or to
Right.
prevent chemical warfare. People don't get that. Well, sorry, that's right. I'm talking to a military guy. Anyhow, I only let the layperson know. So that being the case, when you see a company like Monsanto, they did a thing called Agent Orange and a whole bunch of other things. So my father's
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam vet, so he's 100% disabled mental based on some of those
Mm-hmm.
experiments and shots that they gave people without letting them know I was in there, experimental.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go off to that tangent, but I always respect, and I think that just honestly, I don't think anyone has had it worse than anyone in the military, because they can't win. And it's so sad. They gave up their entire life a lot of times
Yeah.
with very little benefits,
And
including, it's sad, man.
you're right, man. You're right. You're right. And I've seen it to the people who preceded me in the military and people who were retiring. It got to a point, man, while I was in the military where I looked at it as a supplemental income, because by then I was running my schools, I was doing my traveling. So and I was put myself in a position that I would get jobs in the military that didn't require a lot of effort, if you would.
Well, seniority will do that for you when you got the juice, the juice card.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but I'm not mad at you for that. I'm happy actually that you did, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. Chances are you might have done yourself in. Guys, it's a real
I know.
deal. It's a real deal thing that veterans in America on a daily basis cannot come back to the reality of yesteryear. And it's
Mm-hmm.
so sad to me, because my father's an example. The majority of the people that we see in the streets that are homeless, quite a few of them,
Our veterans.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
22, was it 22 suicides a day?
that's the
A
reason we've
day.
done the 22 push-ups in remembrance, and they
Mm,
never come back the same. They just don't,
they don't.
and it saddens me. However, thank God in your situation, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. I mean,
Yeah.
let's keep it real.
Yeah.
But some people have been fortunate enough to somehow survive it, including someone like Chidoshi Ron Van Cleef, who I believe you might know who he is.
Just I know him just a little bit.
There's a
Just a
slight
little
possibility that you might just
bit.
know who this dude is. Now, while you was teaching, obviously, when did you leave Mississippi? MIS and IS as a PPY?
And left right after Hurricane Katrina.
Whoa.
So Hurricane Katrina came at the time I was married, and it blew everything away. All our belongings, everything. We had the car that we escaped with and whatever we packed.
And you was fortunate compared to some.
Yeah, I was very fortunate compared to a lot of people. So our commander told us, hey, pick where you want to go. And at the time, my wife, she said, well, I want to go to California. I was like, okay, it's a great choice. Let's go to California. And she got orders to go, and I didn't. I didn't get orders to go anywhere. They were like, you're staying here at Keesler. And I was like, oh, my God, look at the time. It says that I've been in for 20 years.
See you when I see you.
Retired. ABC.
See ya. That was a good one. But this guy here was in the military. You're saying, let's talk about this picture here.
This guy with the white helmet on?
That dude.
Yeah. Wow, that was in 1991, 92?
Well, it says August 90, but who's checking?
90? Okay, 90. At the national championship.
Read the cue cards, man. Just read the cue cards.
The national title belt championships in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That's what that was.
New Orleans. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
I remember that. Yeah. Who's the referee? Oh, wasn't that? Was the referee up there? The one at the top.
Oh, wait a second.
Who's the referee?
So right over. I can't tell because I had to make it small to fit. But it looks like you're in Italy because that looks like the mafia.
Yeah, that's mafia. That's mafia. Then move over right there. Who's that guy?
I really can't tell only because I did make it small, and I'm not that smart.
That's Kareem Abdullah.
Oh wow! So was that in Jersey?
That was in New Orleans too.
New Orleans, wow.
Yeah, he was the referee.
Wow. Formerly known as Kareem Allah, for those of you who don't know, who fought Just Smith at the Thriller in Manila, but before that he did a whole bunch of stuff. And rest in peace to his student, the legendary Little K.A., who also had a bunch of names, guys. His name was Kevin Brown, but he was known as Kevin Thompson. And we knew him as Little K.A. or the Eighth Wonder or Asatida. Bro, that's a lot of names, bro.
That's a lot.
For a little dude. And if he was here, he'd be laughing. He would be laughing. Anytime you see photos of him and I can't help it, guys. Listen, if you don't want me to have fun, don't invite me. That's facts. Yeah, facts. I don't do faxes. Again, we text. Guys, faxes. Guys, you can tell he's old.
You gotta listen to the enunciation, man.
Enunciate your vowels.
Enunciate
your vowels. He didn't say F-A-X. Oh, okay. Got you. He said F-A-C-T-Z.
There you go.
Wow, that's really interesting. So you had an opportunity to literally work on your left side and right side of your brain because in the military, that's military just left side. Entrepreneurs on the right side of the brain. Who was the entrepreneur of your family, man?
It was me. I opened up the school. My dad came in as a business partner for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, all the way from New Jersey. Would fly down and come back and fly down.
You mean you got supported by your freaking father?
My dad came down.
Oh, we're going to end this shit right now. This freaking guy. We're going to end this shit right now. How dare you? Now, my father supported me by his VA check paid for my martial arts lessons. Except that he was in the feds. 1975 is when I met him. And I was born in 66. So he put me in Sangsu Tiger Kills. Props to great Grandmaster Aaron Banks of the Oriental Order of Self-Defense on ABC Wild Sports was the first time I actually had a chance to see a variety of things.
I remember that.
You do, young man.
I do.
Channel 7. Executive producer Rude Orange. Which is incredible. Wow. All right, so now, what the heck is this thing about, man?
This guy, this handsome young man who is me, I'm next to some guy.
By the way, great Grandmaster Aaron Banks was his instructor.
Yes.
And I had all about it. I had a great conversation with him not too long ago. And for those of you who don't know, Fred the Hammer Williamson has done so many things. You guys have no freaking idea. The number one action star throughout the world, an independent filmmaker, most likely would be him from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even to the point where he came back to California and they robbed him. Let me tell you what I mean, guys. When you start seeing things, in my opinion, like the Dispendables, all that is original gangsters.
Yes.
Oh, you concur?
I concur.
Okay, anyway, I went off. So, yeah, what's up with that? How do you get that dude?
I called him.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that easy? Everybody's like, oh, man, how'd you get Fred? I called him.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's keep it real. He had this person here that might have helped out with that. I believe I believe when you met him, it was rest in peace, where Mr. Jim Kelly had passed away. Is that correct?
Correct. So I met Fred at Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was my mentor. We can go into a whole conversation about that.
You mean you do tennis?
No, I don't do tennis.
A lot of people don't realize he was a professional tennis trainer.
He was awesome. He was awesome. He taught me the ropes, I guess you can say, of what to do, what to say, how to present yourself.
All right, hold on a second. So you're related to this young lady here who did a movie with Mr. Jim Kelly himself way back when.
Yes.
So now you're the young guy asking questions, and Kelly at the time was probably far away from what would be the movie industry.
Far away.
Yeah, and you still had an opportunity to be mentored by asking and having some resources. Guys, I don't care what industry you're in, please do not be afraid to ask people who've been there, done that for help. Because most people are intimidated by that. They ask some stupid questions like, can you have your autograph? No, man, don't do that. I mean, would you agree?
I agree.
They want to teach people.
See what, they want to. They want to leave their legacy.
They want to leave the village a better place than how I found it.
Exactly. They want to build.
Let's get some, because realistically, in some industries where someone like Andrew Carnegie, first part of his life, he makes money pretty much enslaving people because the minimum wage was ridiculous. And then the second part, he gave everything away, because they don't want to go to hell. I'm not saying this about Jim Kelly, but I'm saying just in general, it feels great when people vicariously do things. Oh my God.
Right.
You're proud of them, right? When you're a student. Yeah.
It's like with this movie that I did with Fred. Fred didn't have to do that. He didn't. And we did a showing. We had a release party the week it was released on video. And he said, I only came here and did this movie because Robert asked me. That's the only reason I did it.
It helped that he was in the country too, because at least he didn't have to fly. But regardless, he didn't have to.
He didn't have to. But he said he wants to give back. He said he's into giving back.
And it's interesting because Fred the Hammer Williams, let's talk about him. Okay, let's speak about Jim Kelly, please, only because a lot of people have no freaking idea. This guy was pretty much invisible for many, many decades.
Yeah.
After having a bad taste, I believe in.
Yeah, he was sour about some things, but he was a great guy. Let me tell you, he would call me at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Crack of dawn with the yawning.
I'm looking at the phone. It's 3 o'clock. I was like,
who the hell is this?
Kelly.
Calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Crack of dawn with the yawning. Ooh, Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. I mean, how does that happen?
Because
he just wanted to talk, man.
Dreams do come true.
They do. He just wanted to kick it. We talked about his purple Ferrari. That was in what movie? I'm testing you. What movie was that in? His purple Ferrari.
Black Bill Jones? I don't know.
No. I thought you almost had it. It was in Black Samurai.
Oh, that's the last movie he did. That was probably the last freaking movie he did. Look it up, brother.
The last movie he did was One Down. Before he came back, because he did have a movie after that. He did One Down, Two to Go.
Again, great Grandmaster Aaron Banks was in that movie also.
He was in that movie.
Yeah.
But the last movie he did was Afro Ninja.
Oh my gosh.
And he was a little upset about that.
Well, I'm upset that I didn't know that, because I didn't see Afro Ninja. I saw One Down, Two to Go, of course.
Uh-huh.
I saw Hot Potato. Ooh, of course. I saw
Mm-hmm.
Black Samurai, which they made him into a secret agent. You know, he was like high
Yeah.
tech, and that was probably the highest budget movie he had. You know, yeah. And it's interesting. Both what would be Three the Hard Way and One Down to the Goal was produced by Po Boy Productions.
So let me tell you, here's an interesting
Po
story
Boy Productions
about One Down, Two to Go. They shot it, some of it on Staten Island. I was born in Staten Island. And my grandmother didn't live too far away from the hotel, from the Holiday Inn.
Were you born in the car on the way to Jersey? Because who the hell wants? I'm only joking. Props to RZA and
we went to the hotel. I went to the hotel with some friends, and I guess they were guerrilla filming. And I was in the way. I don't remember how old I was.
Props to Franklin.
14, 15. And Fred was like, hey, get out of the way. Get out of the way. So it's my first time meeting Fred Williamson.
Wow. Again, because of family.
Family. Yeah.
The golden child.
Give
me the knife. Give me the knife. Oh my God. So now, as a youngster, did you even realize that Miss Black Bolt Jones was there? Oh, what movie was it? That was it was Black Bolt Jones, right?
Yeah, it was Black Bolt.
Yeah. God, listen, I blocked in my face sometimes. Listen, so I've been known to have a good memory, but you know what? It's a lie. Sometimes I have to be reset. But I think I've done pretty decent, right? I mean, I came back to...
I think you're doing all right, man.
Okay.
You're doing all right.
So we're going to keep it. Okay. Not again.
I didn't know she was my relative until right after Jim Kelly passed.
So you were speaking with Jim Kelly. How did that ever happen? You never mentioned that. This guy's a little secretive.
I know, very reclusive.
These military need to know basis is above my pay grade.
We had a mutual friend, and he said, you should call Jim. He's a real nice guy. He's living in California.
And
Go ahead and call him.
You like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding me? Man, he's cool. For real?
So he gave me his number, and I waited maybe 2 weeks to get up the nerve, and I called him.
And your voice sounded how? Come on, let's go back. Let's go back.
Can I?
No. I need the phone, buddy. Come on. Get into character. Come on. What's my motivation?
All right. I'm on the phone. I'm dialing the number. It rings 3 times. Hello. I was like, oh, shit. May I speak with Mr. Jim Kelly, please? This is he. Hi. You don't know me, but...
But I got your number from...
We have a mutual friend, and he asked me to just give you a call because you might have some things that I might need to know. And that's how it started.
And what I'm curious to find out. Guys, listen, even though we're joking around here, please understand this. I made a video call, to a guy named Mike Stone. Some of you guys might know who he is. If not, you're going to find out really fast. And he did his first Zoom ever within 12 hours of me communicating with him.
Wow.
Now, not only that, he's probably the most intimidating guy in the history of martial arts first generation. Mm-hmm. And, but he's probably, when you get a chance to listen to this thing, you're not going to listen to it one time. It'll be one of those things that you're going to be listening over and over again because he goes into some metaphysics, bro. Oh my God. He's always been a deep person, but it was really interesting. Now, from that, I got some access to some people that most people can't even fathom. So, and I won't let the cat out the bag, but going back to what happened with you, young, hungry person,
mm-hmm.
respecting elders,
mm-hmm.
asking questions. Doesn't matter what industry it is. And most people are intimidated to that. They assume they're going to be brushed off. Not necessarily so. Most people do not dare to ask. Thank God you did.
Yeah, yeah. Thank God. And he became a mentor. We became really, really good friends. I even got him a couple dollars in his pocket. I connected him with another friend who had a martial arts tournament. Say, "How I heard Jim, Jim Kelly. I want him at my tournament." Okay, call him. Here's his number. And we did a 3-way. And Jim was like, "If you want me to come to the
No,
tournament,
but buddy, this is a family show. No 3 ways.
no." He's like, "I just caught that.
Yeah, yeah.
I just caught that."
That's because of the
Like,
French girl, that Haitian girl, Menage a Trois, kind of messed me up. Anyway, so yeah, so you actually
he said it'll be X amount of dollars.
no hesitation.
No hesitation. And my boy was like, "Okay, I'll send
And,
you a money order right now.
and you
Where
was
do you want me
like,
to send it?" I was like, "Oh." And then
that's the way you do things.
Yeah.
Didn't you learn from that?
Yeah.
No shaking his voice.
Nope.
The other side happy.
Everybody was happy.
And you're in the middle.
I'm in the middle.
Was it 10% or 15?
10.
Okay. I was ready to say, because if you would have been him, he would have got 20. You know, Banks would have got 20. See, and again, guys, please understand this. I mean, all jokes aside, there's value in all of us. If we don't think there's value, then we're going to get exactly what we think we're worth. And
what we're paid for, what you pay for.
Yeah, and a lot of times people literally would do things just because someone asked, or it was convenient, or they'll test you the first time.
Yeah.
You know? Let's talk about that. See, you said that a little too quick there. So did you see other possibilities of him doing deals that fell through because or whatever?
Well, he's been stiff like that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you take someone out of that stature to eat, you pay for it.
All the time. All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And then at one time we went out to eat and he reached in his wallet. I got this.
That means you reached the level of respect.
Right.
Now it's mutual, because what happens with people who are in a position that's been burnt is that they remember that. I mean, let's think about Jim Kelly. You know, this gentleman had it all. There were actually two gentlemen that you had a chance to work with two of them, at least be mentored by one and then, work with another. But it wasn't easy, guys. You guys think that things are hard now? You stupid. You stupid. Stupid. Because I'm sure you heard some of those stories too.
Oh yeah. I heard some of the tournament stories. We won't even talk about the movie stories. Let's talk about the tournament stories.
Well, I'm mostly ears.
So Jim Kelly's fight, I can't remember who he said he was fighting. He's fighting this guy and he's scoring, there's no contact. No contact. And he said he's scoring with the back fist and they're not giving him his points. His instructor said, hit him.
Who was his instructor?
Parker Shelton.
In the house, y'all. Rest in peace.
Hit him. So Jim Kelly hits him with the back fist, busts the guy's mouth all up, knocks a tooth out, guy's bleeding. Naturally, Jim Kelly gets disqualified. But they remembered him the next time. Mm-hmm. They would call his points the next time.
Yeah.
So hundreds of those stories. Hundreds of them.
Interesting, because even his kick was unique. Since he didn't want to get kicked to the groin, he dropped the knee, he kicked it upward.
Drop the knee.
Yeah, make sure he gets scooped.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one video that you see him fighting in the Long Beach International, and his bread and butter was that right hand back fist.
That's right. And that kick, he does that kick in all of his movies.
Up. No, I mean, and it's funny because when people looked at that, they were saying he's not kicking right. I said no. He's gonna protect his groin, because the groin kicks was part of it. So that in itself makes it unique. Nobody in martial arts, any movie, you cannot find a movie, someone kicking like that. That was more of real deal competition kicking.
Right. And so back then, things were simpler. We didn't have, at least in America, we didn't have, movies where people were jumping in the air and flipping 50 times and doing splits to land a kick.
Yeah.
You know, you fought like you did in the competition, you know?
Interesting because he was a fighter, not a forms competitor.
Correct.
I think Mr. Norris was a fighter also, right? Not a forms competitor.
Correct.
And for what it was worth, even Mr. Billy Blank says he was a fighter, not a forms competitor, right? Or Key Vitale, right?
Correct.
Or Benny Akides.
Correct.
So why is everyone trying to do forms to be in movies? And even the fighter who choreographed all those movies was Pat Johnson.
Yes, a fighter. That's right.
Interesting.
That's right.
Guys, listen, and I don't need to be, anything but be. I want to stimulate thought. You never thought about that, did you?
I thought about it, but not out loud.
Well, you know who's talking there. If I don't make you laugh, I'm doing something wrong. I'm being fake and phony.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be anything but honest, guys. Please understand that it's a new world. The reason why they are in martial arts films per se in mainstream is because they took martial arts and put them into mainstream films. And that's why you're a stunt person today. And they think that's the heyday or a forms competitor that might have gotten the movie part, as a shark, and then eventually a wolf, and then we can't hear it from him no more. Whatever happened to him?
Well, still, you got people like Christine Bannon, who was a stunt double. She was a fighter.
Rest in peace to Cheryl
Wheeler.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah. She was a fighter. She was a stunt double. So.
Yeah, the world definitely changed when. Now you still do have action films worldwide that are appreciated, and thank God for that. Otherwise, these things here would be non-void.
True.
Isn't that true?
That's
so,
true.
Getting back to Mr. Kelly, if you had to say a thing or two that people had no idea about him, what could it be?
Oh, wow. No idea about Jim Kelly.
Well, we know that he didn't know how to tell time. He didn't know how to tell time, so he called it 3 in the morning. We got that part.
He I don't want to say in his adventure, in his 60s, he passed away, and I think he was 67. Even in his 60s, before he got really sick, he can still spar for 3.5, 4 hours straight, straight, break for water, straight. He was still in his 60s, ripped up.
How do you know?
Because I know.
You actually, so.
We moved around a little bit. But I know.
No video footage of that. It was personal workouts. Yeah.
Right.
He was a private person, I would probably have to say.
Very, very private. Yeah. Very private. And one of the stipulations, I think one of the things that he respected me for is I didn't go around and tell everybody, hey, I know Jim Kelly. Hey.
No. You're not supposed to. So again, that means that goes back to your upbringing. Somebody at home taught you to respect, and you understood the value of what was happening. I had a very, I've had some incredible conversations with people that, it's just between them and I and the fly in the wall, off the record.
Yeah.
Off the record.
Exactly.
The record.
I've had those conversations with Ron Van Cleef, who I love very dearly. I had those conversations with Fred. And another mentor of mine is Art Camacho. And we've had those conversations,
What's up with him wearing the damn coat in the freaking summer anywhere? Did he have a problem with freezing? What the hell's wrong with him? And the glasses at night.
That's what I was going to say. It's got to match the glasses, dude. It's got to match the glasses. I didn't know he had eyes until about 2 years ago.
And it's funny. I believe his instructor was Eric Lee.
Eric Lee, yes.
So yes. He does come from a legacy. Because I interviewed Miranda Cascos, formerly with Cascos, 5 years ago. And God willing, I'll get Mr. That was the Castro himself.
Wow.
Most people don't know that stuff. How the hell do I know?
No.
I don't know.
It's because you are the shit, man.
I took mine right before this. How to use the bathroom, bro.
You keep it going. You know, let me say this about you. For as long as I've known you, which has all been, you know, maybe a week or so, you have always perpetuated the culture, if not the martial arts itself, but the culture of the martial arts, which is a lot of people don't do, because a lot of people are all about themselves, you know, all about themselves. I remember seeing you at the Super Grands in a traditional competition, and you didn't wear an all-white gi. I remember that. You remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't remember what kata you were doing. I think you were doing
Kankudai.
You were doing Kankudai.
And I made a mistake. I let them all know.
You said, oops, I goofed. And bowed out. It's like, see, if more people were like you, like that, and not so serious about themselves, so to speak, this world would be a better place.
Right. I appreciate that. One of the challenges, I believe, is that their world is that. They're in the make-believe world. They really honestly believe, you know, that nonsense. I call it nonsense because to me, martial arts isn't fighting, because there's rules.
Right.
Now, you lived in the hillside, but if you went right down the block to Newark or a little further up to Irvington, you better be ready.
Been through all that. Yeah, you better be ready.
People don't understand. There's different levels. When you go to a place and the projects are abandoned, there's different levels of ghetto. We didn't call it hood, by the way. By the way, guys, we didn't call it hood. We were the hoods, hoodlums. It was called home or the ghetto until California took over, and then all of a sudden everybody's called this my hood, man. I never drink that Kool-Aid coming from the hip hop culture. I wasn't going to do it. Can't. You know, even when you went to Elizabeth. Yeah, man. Even when you go to Elizabeth, you know, had your Peterstown section, so you knew how to get your hot dogs there between Tommy and Jerry's hot dog, and they had the ice, and that was a world away from Hillside, and it was right down the block. The borders were thick. You had to stay in your lane.
You better.
Isn't that, people don't understand that. That's why in martial arts, but at the same time, that's why when you go to the martial arts and there's rules, the people you had to worry about was your neighbor. You know, they're the ones that know how to rob you because they know your patterns.
I know. When I was a kid, well, not even when I was a kid, after I left to go to the military, I think my neighbor or someone close to us in our circle broke into the garage and stole a radio right out of the car.
Again,
Come on.
That's a common denominator. Well, you're lucky you didn't have a cousin that was on drugs, because then he couldn't get into the house, you know, and not be followed all over the place.
You know, keep your hands in your pocket.
all those things, yeah.
I'm gonna go upstairs to the bathroom and clap till I get back.
And that's some stuff, yeah. I mean, it's crazy, guys. But we were also taught that when you went to other people's homes, you make sure that you stayed as only people from New York, New Jersey. You stayed. I think you realize that. I always said the word wrong. Stood. You stayed. What would be, well, don't embarrass your parents. You was always taught not to embarrass everywhere you go. Don't ask for stuff and be polite and so on and so forth. You know? Keep your elbows off the table and all those little basics.
And the parents used to talk to each other back then.
Isn't that something?
You know?
What a concept.
Parents would talk to this person's parents, would talk to that person's parents, and they would even talk to each other. You know?
But sometimes they would talk about your ass, you know, where if you was out of line, they'll put a foot up your ass, and it was a neighbor. What the heck?
Yep.
They had the okay.
And then they tell your mom or dad.
And they whip you more.
Yep.
After thanking them.
Those are the good old days, man.
Well, it's the village. The village brought up the child.
Yeah.
Some of those basics. Yeah. Well, again, that was systematically done, guys. Just so you know, divide and conquer is the first line of war.
That's for another show.
Yeah, that's for another show. But we can say this, that we still have people who know that values are important.
Yes.
And this is probably maybe the last generation of people like that. And hopefully not, because I try to instill that into my children. And keep that tradition going. I hear you got some children too.
I got 4 kids. 3 girls. Excuse me, 3 young ladies.
Yeah, you watch your mouth, man. Mine says I'm a woman. She's 18. She says, Dad, I'm a woman now. Like, okay.
Yeah.
What's the age range?
The oldest is 32. So my oldest daughter's 32, then 26. Then my son will be 19 next week, and my daughter's 17.
Wow. I just think about that. My youngest is 17. My oldest is 37. My timing sucks. Only in fighting, I'm good. And of course, I have 3 boys and 2 girls, and incredible how the capacity to love just expands, huh?
It does, man. It does. So I was in Mississippi last week, and it's the first time I had all 4 children in my house.
I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures.
Isn't that crazy? 10 years, man. 10 years. Time waits for no one.
Well, the interviews that I did with the John Longstreet, the Keith Vitalis, Ray McCallum, was 5 years ago too. I'm like, damn. The next 5 years, I think, is going to go past at least as fast, if not faster.
Twice as fast. Twice as fast. I mean, we're in the same age demographic, right?
Yeah. It's called old. It's called old. Nah.
Imagine where we were 20 years ago. Think about that.
Yeah. That's the thing about it, that I know where I was 20 years ago, and it was a blink.
Yeah, blink of the eye.
Completely a blink of an eye. All right, so this Jackson boat thing, how did it do? Because I remember that thing was actually in some of the major big box retailers, I should say.
It did pretty good. I was a little
pleasantly surprised.
In one thing.
Okay.
In one thing, and that is the soundtrack got switched up. So
Clearance?
the audio is
the
audio is not the best audio, huh?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the audio is not the best, but the movie did good overall. It did good. It's one of our distributors' best sellers. So
hey, that was one of what I felt pretty special, because I had one of those before they hit the location. I was like, damn, I got my man, hook it up. You know, man, that was so cool of you, man, honestly. So I want to talk about something briefly, if you don't mind, because you asked me a question a few years ago that I think it's hilarious when I think about it. We were doing, you were doing a documentary for Kareem Abdullah, and then we had a conversation after that. You asked me a question. Do you remember the question?
Yes.
Did the answer surprise you?
No.
Okay. So what was the question? And I'll give you the answer.
I'm not going to repeat the question. You're not putting me on the spot.
No, but to me, it was a big compliment. It was a big compliment to me, personally. Because the truth of the matter is, and there's no secret, guys, when it comes to the entertainment industry, I had a chance to be on a set of The Last Dragon in 1984. And there was a lot of things that I just did not like. However, I believe that as an adult now, I can handle things a little better. I had the same agent Isai Maradas had. Lisa, all the Spanish, had the same damn agent. Anyway, that whole group of people. And I was right on Broadway, had the headshots on 09. But my whole thing was that if you're not ready for entertainment, boy, and most people just don't understand, that industry is really, really difficult. If you want to be just an actor, you're going to have a challenge. So I see that you actually had a chance to escalate and make yourself a little more of part of the business part, not just the talent. So let's talk about that a bit.
You know, there's there's um there's entertainment industry, there's the business part of it, and then there's the industry part of it, you know? So the industry is the culture. So under the guidance of Jim Kelly and Fred and Art and even Conan Lee. So I listen to these people, because they've been there. They schooled me. I've been there. And you gotta, if you let's put it like this, real simple. Own what you do. If you make a product, make sure you own. Why am I going to make Jackson Bolt and give it to somebody else?
In the movie industry, guys, that's called own your masters.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because without that, you don't have a leg to stand on. And it's interesting because you look at guys like, rest in peace, James Brown, and one of the examples. I mean, there was even a guy who went blind, but he wasn't blind. He was blind, but he wasn't stupid to the business part. Ray Charles had his own masters too, guys. And it had nothing to do with color, because there's a whole bunch of people, all colors, that did not know the business. Intellectual property should be protected.
The business.
Yeah, intellectual property.
You gotta know the business, and you gotta work with a crew that that you trust. I have specific people that I work with all the time
for different things.
If you look at the credits,
for different things, you got to know where to go for what, because
for different things. Yeah. Exactly. In our movie, that Snow Black, that it'll be out January 12th. Okay.
That guy right there. After you say that, by the way, my birthday is January the 10th, so 2 days after. That guy right there was so excited going over to Las Vegas, man. I was so happy for him. That was pretty incredible.
He had a blast.
Yeah.
And it motivated him, because he lost all that weight.
Well, again, if truth be told, he knows that some other Puerto Rican guy was on him for that, who used to have a double chin at the same time. Guys, I've been offered things in the past, and I told people, "Nah, man, I'm too freaking fat. Let me get in shape," and I couldn't get in shape. So when my guy gets in the movie, I actually hooked him up the first time. Believe it or not, Time Out wanted me to do some fight scenes with him for this pilot, or I should say, a treatment. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. So I set it up where I was conveniently busy, and I said, I said,
Does he notice?
Oh, yeah. Well, not Time Out didn't know what. He'll find out eventually, but Umberto knew that, and I even gave him my. Bottom line is that, just like Michael J. White said a few weeks ago, I interviewed him here, you got to have a passion for this thing. The industry is so difficult, guys. You got people that are one-hit wonders, guys that were just in scenes one time. And when I saw that as a young man, I'm like, my son is born, I'm 17, I need to earn income. I can't be going on a hit and miss, because it puts a lot of stress on what would
pressure
be people,
and stress. Yeah,
people that are dependent on you.
Exactly, and that's why you gotta have your own stuff, man. You get your own stuff. You get your own cameras. You write your own scripts. You connect with a distributor, and you got it.
Yeah, and that was the thing when when you told me the distribution you had, I was like, wow, that's freaking so awesome, because it goes back to credibility again. A lot of times people with good intentions just don't have their skill set to be able to make things happen. As much as they want to, they just don't know. Big production, different. Little production, different. I mean, I had a student of mine who did a bunch of what you consider, independent films, and then when he got that shot for the big production, he choked. And all they were saying is how much money was being invested per minute,
wasted.
just about
per
minute. And if you're not ready for that, that might be your last time, because your reputation precedes you.
And exactly, and chances are it would be their last time. So you gotta have a love for this business. You gotta have a love for art. You have to have a love for expression, but you definitely got to know the business side, and you definitely got to know the industry side.
That's the difference between, at the time, I gotta say like that, because they both gotta be respectful to both of my brothers there. But the motivation for Michael Jai White was seeing Time Up not being the so-called star and saying, how the hell I got a chance? You know, this freaking guy over here, he has it all. And very similar to what would have been with Jim Kelly and even Ryan Cleave during that time. But in between there, some people forget a guy by the name of Charles Bonet, who did movies with Van Cleef. And he had a Hong Kong deal also, so he would have been the Puerto Rican Bruce Lee per se. I interviewed him for 3 hours. The longest interview I ever did, 3 hours. He's the same guy who trained with Shibabukuro over there in Okinawa, and came back with Shorin, and he trained with rest in peace Joe Louis' instructor. And so there's a lot of information, guys, a lot of things that happen that people just have no freaking idea. Jeff Smith was in movies, so was Jun Rhee and a whole bunch of other people, because when the so-called Chopsaki films came over and they started bringing the non-Asians, which I forget what they called, Dennis Brown mentioned. Like even Dennis Brown, or the people that he was working with, were the same exact people who did all the Shaw Brothers, you know, the same director. So when he went over and he's seen, you know, it's incredible, guys. There's so many people walking around that have phenomenal resumes. So
phenomenal.
I noticed that there was a movie in between here that you did. And I think it was, because there was a lady that I saw in this movie that was done by Spike Lee. And man, I thought she was Puerto Rican, man. You know what I'm saying? Carnation Milk.
That's like I can't call her big sister. She's my little sister because I'm older than her.
Gotcha.
By like 3 months. So we did a movie, and it came out great, in my opinion. It won some awards at some film festivals. I had 7 people wanting to distribute it, but the producers didn't want it to be shown. They wanted to erase it, you know, for whatever reason, you know. So I don't want to get into that. But and Hawthorne James was in that movie too.
Well, let me tell you guys, for those of you who don't know, my favorite non-martial arts movie is The Five Heartbeats. Okay? I took literally 35 people in less than a week, and the movie didn't last a week, and the movie did it where we were at, which is ridiculous. What a freaking, talk about soundtrack. Holy smokes. Jesus Christ. I could sing every freaking song, you know? I mean, because literally it was a combination of the Dells with a little, some people believe, or maybe Temptations of Four Tops, but it was mostly the Dells, you know. And when you hear Valentine hit that note, it was just incredible. But that character, Big Red, is who he's talking about.
It's legendary, right? If you think of bad guys in all the movies, you think of Dr. No.
Yeah, there's no question.
The Big Red, and you think of Scarface.
Yeah,
Tony Montana.
Yeah, so. and it's funny because in that movie, there's 2 people that literally, you know, for argument's sake, you know, they're like their biggest role. I mean, John Canada is still Flash. He's still Flash. So you got Flash and you got Big Red. Love that movie. Robert Townsend, props to you, man. That was a phenomenal movie.
So working with Hawthorne was amazing because to me, he's beyond an actor. He's a thespian.
Wow.
He's way beyond just an actor.
Yeah, I got you.
His knowledge, you know. And getting back to Cinda, though, Cinda and I just made another movie together. I brought her down here. We made this movie called
Better Blues. Better Roll.
That's called Mad as Hell.
Oh.
So that's going to be fun. This is Cinda's first like real action kind of movie. So she gets to shoot guns and
have fun,
rough people up and stuff. So yeah, Mad as Hell. So that'll be out in the summer, I'm sure.
Wow. So how did you even get those people again? Like,
when I went to the set of that movie that we shot, that I don't want to speak about, and they were there, Actually, our agents, our publicists, we had all had the same publicist, and we connected on the phone. But when we met, it was electricity. You know, we talked, we exchanged ideas, we, you know, had liberties with the script to make the film better, and we had a good time, and we all swapped phone numbers, and we kept in touch. As a matter of fact, I saw Hawthorne. I went to Las Vegas when Umberto was out there. Hawthorne came out there too to support, just to support him and his wife. You know, he didn't have to do that, but he did. And that's love.
So relationships are important.
Relationships important, and respect. You know, because when we were on set, I respected his knowledge, because he's, you know, he made a movie with Dolomite. Did you know that?
I vaguely remember that, and I gotta say vaguely because that was a long time ago. He was a young man.
This is how things connect in our conversation. So he made a movie with Dolomite called, I think it was called The Disco Godfather. And who else was in that movie?
Probably your cousin.
No,
huh.
No. The guy who played Show Enough.
Oh my God! Rest in peace. Yeah. Oh, what?
Julius Carey.
Julius Carey. Yeah.
Rest in peace. You see?
Wow. And that's another character that wasn't even a martial artist, man. Didn't matter.
Right.
He had shoulder pads. He had football shoulder pads. And they said
character.
Yeah, they say you can't do this role. You're too thin. Props. And it's interesting because the person who did the stunt for him, rest in peace, his name was T. Taylor. T. Taylor was an incredible martial artist. That he again, that's why I had a bittersweet experience on the set of that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can't do this. I'm gonna kill somebody here. You know, there were too many men trying to hit on me. What are you doing, bro? Like, that industry. If you're not ready mentally, guys, understand this. Everyone has gone through. Doesn't matter what age you are. The industry, the arts are the arts of the arts, and I have never been anything but cool with anybody. I mean, I don't know about you, but there's people with all types of sexual preferences in my family and around. So that doesn't matter. But people disrespectful. That's like, come on, man.
And that's why you got to have your own shit, man.
Yeah,
you gotta have your own shit. Have your own shit, and you don't have to worry about that.
Have your own shit.com. Have your own shit app. Whole shit drink. Make your whole shit clothes. Your own shit clothes.
That's a good idea. I'm writing that shit down. Right?
Yeah, I can see that. A lot of shit. Do my own show. Fuck them. Bleed if I want to or not. What the heck? It's my show.
See? There you go.
I'm glad I listened to you. Thank you, as my grandmother would say. Thank you very much.
It's important in this industry, man. Especially now, you know, with the pandemic going on, a lot of the major studios aren't putting out product, you know, and if they do, it's kind of rushed, and it's just not the way it used to be. Even last year.
Right.
So when you're independent, do what you want to do.
So it's interesting because you probably won't say it, but I'll have to assume that it could have helped. It was many years since we've seen Mr. Black Dragon himself, Van Cleef, in what would be a film. Mm-hmm. And now it seems like he's doing one. And the reason I say that is because Michael Jai White exposed at least some of this information a few weeks ago. Exclusive on my show. And Mr. Van Cleef will be actually working with his student for the first time in terms of something that's going to be from an actor standpoint. And also with Michael Jai White, which is kind of cool. Like, Mike called me about a year ago, asking me. So
you should have went, man.
Which I think is so funny. Asking me if this should be something to do. And I say, yeah. You know, because Mike and I go, I mean, he was 13 when we met. I was 15 years old. He was 13. I complained that he was 21 and that he was probably on steroids. He looked about the same at 13, but that guy, he was a big dude, man. It was crazy, you know. But yeah, I really consider him a real brother, and yeah. So now that I'm down in the weight that I can actually carry myself and not get a pulled muscle, I'm a little more receptive to doing things. So,
well, good, because
yeah.
you and I are working together next year.
Yes, sir. So I'm really proud of you, man. I tell you why I'm proud of you, because I know in the last 24 months you've done a heck of a lot of work. You've been nonstop, and I believe you also graduated from school, or at least was in school. You know, in the middle of all that stuff.
Still in school. Hopefully, I'll graduate in about 4 or 5 months.
Isn't that something? So let's talk about that already. Yeah. I mean, let's think about that, because realistically, what you're supposed to be able to be right now is cocky. You're not supposed to be personable. You're supposed to be like, I'm all that in a bag of chips. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we used to use this phrase, guys, I'm part of the hip rock steady crew. So we used to say this phrase, man, that guy went paper or he went wood and he's acting like he's all that, meaning that it didn't sell. And it didn't really matter. Just someone being in front of a camera for 5 seconds was enough to drive them crazy for the rest of their freaking lives.
Right.
How the heck have you keeping yourself even keeled and even said, I have to go and get better?
Because you can't plateau in this life. You only got one life, and if you plateau, in my opinion, if you plateau, you're not accomplishing a thing. You just breathing somebody else's air that can use it.
And a lot of times it's bad air.
A lot of times it is, When it's my turn to close my eyes for real on this earth, I want them to say, he rode this mug until the wheels fell off with the axle and the engine fell out.
I'm not done yet.
You like the Flintstones, using with my feet.
Yeah, man. And who do you compete against?
I compete against the guy I was 5 minutes ago. I did this interview and people, all my martial arts exploits, and you this and this. It's like, dude, I'm the toughest man in this whole 1 foot area. That's all I gotta be. I don't have to be the alpha male. I don't have to beat everybody on the planet. I don't have to be better than anybody except for the person I was 5 minutes ago. That's all. And
that's a common denominator with successful people. They mind their business, and their business is to improve. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, how hard are you on yourself when you see some of these things?
Pretty hard, man. Pretty hard. You would not believe. Snow Black will be out, like I said, January 12th. We must have cut that movie 20 times. I must have cut it 21, 22 times. We got a soundtrack coming out with that album, with the movie. It's got a song by Nocturnal did all of the music supervision, but there's a song on there with him and Tupac. Okay, never before released. But we went through, 400 songs before I was like, okay, that's it. That'll fit here. That'll fit there. And then 2 days later, scrub that. Let's go through the list again. Let's go through 400 songs again. Because I got to make sure.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The person you was here as opposed to this person here.
Totally different.
If there was one significant thing that you can say, what was the biggest growth?
A growth in wisdom, a growth in process, and a growth in a bigger growth in belief. There I was like, hey, let's make this movie. I think we can get something right. I think we can get some distribution for it because Fred is on the cover and and he helped us. And but listen to Fred, listen to Art, listen to Conan. When this one comes out, the person that was there is like, oh, we're gonna get distribution already. That's a foregone conclusion. We're going to get people to invest. We're going to get this person, we're going to do it. And the one after that, like I said, we're doing Mad as Hell, totally different person. Totally different person. We did Mad as Hell. We shot 50% of the movie in a week.
Don't play.
You
don't play. No, there's no reason.
We did 11 scenes. No, I'm sorry. We did 13 scenes in 6 hours.
So you're going at the Hong Kong movie rate right now. You see, I mean, because they were spitting movies out, and you got dialogue, and it's a different type. It's not just action film, but it's still the standards of get in and get out, man. Do your thing. Don't waste time.
Exactly.
Robert Rodriguez would be very proud of you in the mariachi days.
Well, we're fortunate, like I said, to work with a crew that we've been working with on Jackson Bolt. We picked up some additional equipment, so we're shooting everything with 3 cameras now instead of 1.
You reinvest? You mean you actually reinvesting?
You got to reinvest in yourself. Who's going to reinvest in you if you don't do it?
Well, people normally don't eat just the fruit that the tree bears. They eat the fruit, the leaf, the tree, the seeds, the root, and then they down to nothing.
Exactly. And what are you going to do then? Now you got no seeds to plant. You're just looking at a spot where a tree used to be.
Empty space.
Got to reinvest in yourself. And that with martial arts, that was with training. If you didn't train, training is reinvesting in yourself.
All the time. But again, that's a value, and that's a piece of wisdom that a lot of people just don't know. Guys, listen. It seems like the camera froze right now, so I'm not sure if he's hearing me, but this gentleman is the real deal, man. I'm so proud of him in so many different ways because he's really, I've seen the growth in the last, we blinked, man. We just blinked, and these years just went right by. And like we said, the next one to go right by even quicker. For whatever it's worth, personally, I'm a little paranoid and afraid for some of my friends. We're losing too many of them too fast.
Right.
They with a knife and a fork from one day to the next. Last week, we almost lost 2 of them. Thank God that the hospital wasn't too far away. So when things got rougher, he was in the right place at the right time. And I don't take that for granted, guys. Life is so short. They call it a present because it's a gift. So do you feel, how blessed do you feel that you're still around in 2000, soon to be 21?
Hey, who did we lose in the beginning of this year in the martial arts world?
Yeah, so 2 weeks after Steve Nasty Anderson passes away, where I'm in a memorial in Little K, gone. Now, there were thousands. I've never seen a thing like that in my entire life. There were literally thousands of people in that place. The gentleman who drove me to the Bronx had a heart attack a month and a half ago. He didn't pass, but this one photo is Little K.A., excuse me, not rest in peace, Little K. Steve Nasty Anderson, Billy Beeson, my friend, and myself. And when I look at the photo today, one's gone, the other one's almost half faded away already. So every day alive, guys.
At the beginning of the year, Grandmaster Rico Anderson.
Talking about Rico Guy.
Rico Guy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Rico Guy.
Well, let me tell you, when he passed away, he was one of 5 people that passed away that week. And literally...
That week.
Yeah, that week. And one of the guys was an entertainer, I should say part of the music industry. I know a lot of people from different genres, and they put me in the depression. I was like, what? One of them was my student that I was supposed to speak to that night. I found out he had the virus that night via his brother who was in the Dominican Republic. And I was supposed to call him, and it got to about 10 o'clock. I figured, you know what, it's a little late. I'll call him tomorrow. Then I saw on Facebook that he had passed. We found out that day. This was a police officer. Then when I look back at the photos, there was so many moments that he was with me, including when my brother passed away. So it wasn't just some person. We lost a lot, and there's people right now that holiday season, we end up losing more people. Guys, I'm gonna share a photo right down there of Dr. Dre from your MTV Raps. He has one foot, and the other one's gonna be chopped off any second.
I saw that, man. I saw that. Oh my God.
Diabetes is something, guys, that if it's type 2, you ate it. You ate it. Not that I'm being mean or anything about it, but the truth of the matter is that you must understand that your body's made of electricity. So the food should have pH count above 7. Without getting crazy, you guys know this. I'm paranoid because I was born a sick child, and my first 2 birthdays were in the child ward at the Mount Sinai Hospital. I remember leaving my hoppity hop behind because it didn't fit in the elevator. I was pissed too. I was 2 years old. So I've always been, aware of health, nutrition. Time out. Time out's like a freaking scientist when it comes to food. Same thing with Michael J. White, Van Cleef, all these guys. So I know culture tastes good, but culture will kill you, and then people say it's hereditary. What do you think about that? Am I wrong? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're definitely right. You're definitely right. When they say you are what you eat, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
And anyway, that's one of the things that I plead people to really be aware of. And the sad thing about it is that sometimes you can go to a place and there's no food in there. What I mean by that, if something doesn't decompose within a matter of hours, that means it's not food. Mm-hmm. It's literally what would be chemicals that are keeping that thing together. You can still eat it. I mean, the body's so incredible that it fights to stay alive, and it'll find something to keep it going, even if it's your own bone marrow. Even if it's your own bone marrow.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that wild? So obviously, I've taken more than enough of your time here, and I really appreciate it. I know that you did this because it's me. I know that, and I appreciate that. But I do want to ask you at least one more question. And because we talked about the past and we talked about the present and we slightly talked about the future, but let's go into the 5 years into the future and every step in between there. Do you believe that the growth that you had between this and that, this to that, I digress. Is it possible maybe to grow the same amount in the next little while? I mean, how much better are you going to be in 5 years, man?
I'm just going to say that every day is a learning process. Every project is a learning process. So 5 years from now, if I continue on this path, I will probably just be on another level. I'll be on another level than what I am right now. And that's all. And that's good for me. That's good enough for me.
How do you feel about your original project to now?
It's okay. It's okay. All right. When it first came out, it was great. It's great. But now it's okay because I've learned so much more.
Right. Being your own critic.
It's okay.
But at the same time, don't you cherish some of those moments also because you had some laughs, maybe? I mean,
yeah, man. Yeah. We had especially when Fred came to the set, we had a blast, And talk about nutrition. Here's a gentleman who doesn't live to eat. He eats to live.
That was a book, by the way, by Robert Haas.
Yes, Robert Haas, and by Elijah Muhammad. Oh, so Fred eats 2, maybe 3 times a week.
People don't understand. People understand that it's not about the food; it's about the nutrients. So,
right
now, guys, understand when we are saying eat, there's also grazing that happens. You get snacking. It's literally putting nutrients into your body, into your brain, into the live cells. Realistically, Dr. Sebi was the gentleman who taught most of us about electric food. And some of the things that were put into books was only put there because they knew that other people could not be able to go to that level of discipline, or self-discipline. So they included some other stuff just to make it a little more feasible, so to speak.
Right,
You
right.
know, so, but realistically, what, wait, did I say something funny?
You hit the nail on the head, man. It's like this. It's like Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Great marketing. Hey,
It's a
great
little bit
marketing.
of chicken in there. It's basic. Great marketing, but it's nothing but it's not a chicken sandwich. It's a chemical sandwich with chicken in it.
Yeah.
You know. So
So
I mean, come on.
this is interesting, right? Again, I'm referencing Mike John White again only because I respect him so much as I respect you. And he said something I never thought about. It was based on nutrition. He says, if something is 51% something else, then it can't be that thing. It's something
Right,
else. And he
right.
mentioned how turkey is so dry. So how can you go get this when people are trying to eat what would be cold cuts and they're saying, so here's this meat. He says, did they get that from a Tyrannosaurus? You know, because I don't have that much meat. And he says they make this into this gel type thing, and then they have the audacity to put some imitation of fat around it, and then they slice it and they go like this, and they say, here, turkey. He says, if it was turkey, it would break all apart.
Right.
And that was one of those aha moments for a lot of people. And to me, I told people, if your grapes have no seeds, it's not grapes.
It's not grapes.
If it has no seeds in your watermelon, it's not watermelon, and et cetera, et cetera. And for whatever it's worth, even a lot of the foods that we know as being foods, like if you ever speak to a person who's of a Spanish country, a Latino, you ask them for lemon, they'll give you what we consider a lime. Well, that's the original lemon. The lime's a hybrid. The lime's a hybrid, and people don't understand that. Bananas aren't this big, man. They are now.
Yeah.
But they weren't before.
What about?
They were chiquita.
You know, this whole thing about like boneless chicken. You ever seen a boneless chicken?
Oh my God. It's that's the same as the chicken fingers. It's supposed to be boneless chicken.
Okay, when I see a chicken rolling around on the ground trying to get some feed that's got no bones in it, then you know
that means they have no head either, right? If it's boneless
and just flopping around.
Wow, maybe it's bonehead chicken because that chicken might have been used from the bonehead. That's your chicken. Imagine that. I bet you if they call it that, people wouldn't eat it. What's that? Oh, that's bonehead chicken.
Bonehead chicken. And they have a nice marketing plan.
Oh man,
put it in between two pieces of bread.
They'll say it's better for your brain.
Yep. Give you some a side of fries with that.
Guys, if you want to investigate, you can even find out how they marketed orange juice for breakfast. We live in an age right now that there's so much information that people are stupid.
I think it's complacency. It's complacency, you know. It's some people just don't want to put it in the effort. They just want to live their life, and you know, I'm not gonna put a lot of effort into this. You know, my mom and dad drank this or ate this, and it was good for them, so it'll be good enough for me. You know?
Well, this is interesting because realistically, how are you speed-wise when you're on the set? Yeah. Oh wait, we lost audio. Yeah, I'm not hearing any. I'm hearing the feedback from me. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh man, you did lose audio.
Oh, that's better. Now we good.
Hold up.
Yes, sir. Guys, this is live and direct.
There you go.
All right,
there you go. My headphone died.
Murder, she wrote.
I still got them hands. Let's just put it like that. That'll never leave.
That happened to Bruce Lee too, right? Quiet on the set. I said quiet.
You got them hands.
I said quiet. And so what I'm saying is that you're laid back, cool, calm, and collective, suave, bola, when we're doing this conversation, your hat went from the front to the back and so on and so forth. Well, in my case, my hat goes from the front to the back. But when I go to the back, that happens. Anyway, cool. Yeah, that means it's late and I'm getting real silly. But can you just give me one commitment? Can you visit us in the future, man? Honestly, I would love for you to
Anytime, man. Anytime. I would love to. Anytime.
I'm so proud of you, man, and I appreciate. I reached out to you just a matter of hours ago when we made it happen, and that's the common denominator too. You know, when you talk about work ethic, is really what you're talking about. To make things happen in that speed, that means everybody has to be in unison to what would be work ethic, and also a level of what considers frequency, vibration. You know, if you're on that vibe, you make things happen. The more you work with people, the more you gel, and it seems like it's effortless, because you start finishing other people's sentences, and that's when you know that you have a team. And most people don't realize, guys, Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and a whole bunch of people, including Martin Scorsese, they work with the same freaking people for a long time.
That's right. That's right. That's that synergy, man. Synergy. You know, I added George Price, aka the original Master G, the original G-Man of hip hop, to the team, and he's amazing. He brings a lot of insight. He brings a lot of course, connections, but we work very well together. We work very, very well together. You know.
So you're looking to expand what would be? It's really a mastermind if you think about it, because a mastermind group of people. Synergy, guys, for those of you who don't know, 1 + 1 can equal 2, or 1 + 1 can equal 11. When people of similar mind congregate, they create a greater third mind, but that can also be 3 people make 111. So in other words, in special forces, they have groups of 6 that can infiltrate and do things that most people don't have. In that group, there's a sniper, and you can't get in or get out with that sniper. But you also need to have what would be everybody doing their part. But they have to be flexible, right? Because aren't there times where you might end up being a bunch of credits?
Yeah, you gotta be flexible. You gotta be I have my supervisor, my script supervisor, my production supervisor, and my personal assistant. Her name is Amy Naylor. So when she's not on set, you know, I have to fill her spot, and it's taxing on me, you know, because she does a lot.
Right.
But we have so much synergy in our group, and then I'm going to throw some names out, but we have so much synergy in our group that we can take each other's spot almost, you know, to some extent. So we got Amy Naylor, we got Gary Turner, we got Vert Wright, we got James Meyer, brought on the original Master G of hip hop, you know, and we got myself, and we got Paul Yang, who's our sound guy, David John Foster. Boom, that's all we need. 6, 7 people. Boom, we crank out a movie in a week and a half. You know, that's synergy.
That's Hong Kong. I mean, isn't that Hong Kong speed? Back in the days, they shooting at nighttime and they making things happen. And if for some reason someone can't do it, there's about 30 people lined up that will gladly do.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's where I get that from.
Work ethic. So
when you growing up watching those martial arts movies and reading books like Kung Fu, The Cinema of Vengeance, you ever had that book? You know, and they talk about the Shaw brothers.
Yeah. I almost stole it from Barnes and Noble, but no, I never had it.
I had it.
I was there a long time. Yeah, because your father had a job and that bullshit I heard before. Actually stood together. He supported you, went to New Orleans. And
then, you know, listening to my mentors, listening to Jim Kelly, listening to Fred and Ron Van Cleef and Conan and, you know, Art, and hey, put this piece here, put this piece of the puzzle here, this, that, there, put this here. How can I go wrong listening to them?
Teamwork makes the dream work. We've heard it before, guys. And the fact of the matter is that this is a success secret to martial arts, and it applies to anything, I believe. You tell me if I'm wrong. You gotta know what you want, have a plan, and a success coach. Take consistent action, review your progress, and renew your goals.
Exactly. It's almost January 1st. I'll be writing my list of 20 things I want to accomplish this year. In June, I will recheck that list and either add to it or scratch stuff off that I've done. Do that every year.
That formula, well, he's not saying the part that sometimes he will add things onto the list, I'm sure. Right? Because the truth of the matter is that the world has changed, guys, in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't change, by definition, you're done. Or I'm not a techie. I mean, today I said, man, I'm going to interview my guy, but I want to do something that, you know, that's not for me. This is for us. We all benefit. Like when I get a chance to see this again, I'll be like, I'm happy because I never like whatever I do, you know, but at least I would like what you do. And I would like this part at least because I'm saying, wow, this is pretty cool. I had to balance it out, make sure that, you know, we got it.
It's so tough. I'm taking a picture. Smile for the camera.
Sneeze. I don't know why I'm holding my breath again. I'm not even fat no more.
Got it.
Hey, so what's gonna happen? Just so you know, I will grab.
Got it.
I'll grab the photo of you and I, and I'll superimpose this, and this will be the thumbnail when it goes onto YouTube. Yeah, when it goes onto YouTube. That's I mean, that's some of the things that I believe. You know, attention to detail, guys. That's why the editing and the editing and the editing and the editing, and then you get another idea. You wake up in the middle of the editing, and people don't understand what happens behind the scenes is so freaking much more than the front of the scene. You have no idea. Once production happens, post-production.
Yes. That will make or break your movie. I don't care what your script is. I don't care who you have starring in your movie. Post-production will make or break it.
And thank God that is not the era or the age of film where sometimes people cut in the wrong spot. And they were never able to bring that back. Even though they try to tape it together. Oh my God, people don't understand that. Like, again, these are the things. Even from an actor standpoint, there's a difference between actors and characters, right? Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that. You can always put a character into a movie, you know. And for whatever it's worth, maybe I'm wrong, and we're going to leave it at that. But I want to revisit on this because there's a lot of people that aspire to do things and they're afraid, right?
Right.
And I say to them, well, listen. You know, no disrespect intended, but there was a bunch of guys that worked together with independent filmmaker back then. Martin Scorsese was not a mainstream dude. That was an independent, low-budget freaking dude. This is when the Italians were considered not white, so to speak. And I'm saying it is the damn truth, guys. And he had three people that he worked with very closely. Yes, he had De Niro. Yes, he had Pacino. But he also had Harvey Keitel. And that guy's not Italian. But he played a good damn Italian. The other two guys were playing Italian Americans from New York. I wonder if I could play a Puerto Rican from the Bronx that came from Spanish Harlem. You literally have opportunities where if that character is written, you may fit the part because you're closer to that than anything.
Exactly.
I'm glad I was right because I just made that shit up.
Well, it's true.
I'm playing the host.
That's true.
Hey, brother, man, thank you. It's only been 2 hours, so I'm going to let you go. and I'm impressed that you're not old enough to meet the pens. You just said there, I will see you squirming. You know, we killed you. Normally I have to stop it. I did what's his name? Super Dan Anderson the other day. And he's so competitive. You know, he had the longest interview. He wanted to just make sure his was longer than Keith Vitale. So he had one off on him. And I love the competitive nature of those guys like that because they're my uncles in the industry, man. They freaking so awesome. You know, they're 10, 15 years older than I am, but you could never tell. Their passion is there. And this is the part that I think that we should leave with. Guys, I believe that if you're lucky enough to find your passion, even though other people, they want you to get a real job, you're so lucky because most people have those real jobs and never find their passions. And they die, I should say live miserably. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Exist. Thank you very much. Okay,
exist miserably. And they pay you, let's say, what's the average job?
I know what. They pay you not enough. Or just enough so you don't quit.
Just enough. Okay, let's give it a number. Give it a number.
Well, in New York it would be 15. That's high.
Okay.
That's high in most countries.
Let's be generous. Let's say $20 an hour. Let's be generous. So they're gonna pay you $20 an hour to kill your dreams. There you go.
Yeah, but not just kill your dreams. Don't use the bathroom either until I tell you. Don't be hungry until I tell you so.
You can remedy that.
Yeah.
All you need is a cup.
Yeah.
Just don't pick the wrong cup.
Yeah, I've been there. So no, but I honestly, guys, please do not give up on your dreams because you end up living a nightmare, right? Isn't that true?
Exactly.
How many times were you told, man, wake up, right?
Don't do this. You can't do this. You're not good enough. Black people aren't marketable. Martial artists aren't marketable. Fighters aren't marketable. Okay.
Yeah. If it was possible, then somebody else would have done it already.
Exactly.
Well, they already have people like you. There's no room for 2 or 3 or 4.
Exactly.
That's if you're going for one role and everybody's lined up for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you do your own thing, you could be on your show or do the movies or whatever you want and making the clothes. Anyway, Mr. Parham, I salute you and I thank you. I learned a lot more. I learned a lot more about you today, which was kind of cool, and I really appreciate that. In the famous words of some crazy Puerto Rican from the Bronx, when I say AB, man, I think you know what to say. AB,
see ya.
We out of here. No more pictures. Now get the hell out of here. We out of here. Thank you very much. God bless. Peace.
Peace.